Hey friends, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. Excuse me. How are you guys doing? It's later in the afternoon. We have been working on personal intuitive astrology readings today. And I was thinking, you know what? The the new moon is going to be coming in on y'all. It's Sunday, right? Okay, I'm just double checking myself. It's going to be coming in on Sunday. And we definitely might tap in and channel messages together and touch base with each other. But how are you guys feeling? Now I'm pulling up the chart and I'm just double checking myself. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. The new moon in Capricorn. Um, Let me look at something, y'all. When does the y'all, I misspelled the heck out of that. Okay. See, I'm always curious. Listen, I was thinking about the new moon, but then that led me to be thinking about the Lunar New Year because I feel like I still feel intuitively, you guys, let's smudge. By the way, if you're new here, thanks for hanging out. Click the like button just as a way to show me that you are activating and connecting to messages and energy and imagery and the things that I hold in this space. If you click subscribe, of course, you'll get notified when I upload a new video. But listen, we don't really hold space here for monetization. We just share energy. We walk through the wheel of the year. We share intuitive downloads and channeling. We talk about astrology. And yeah, that's kind of what we do. We hang out. If you are new here, I encourage you to get connected with your soul family, whether that's in a more like ethereal, astral way and you connect with communities online or something like that. I think, I know, right? These are all the decks I was working with earlier. Ooh, we might pull. Oftentimes, the way that I pull spreads in personal readings, I don't necessarily always pull here, but maybe we could do that. But going to back to what I was saying, I have been holding this space for a number of years now. And then even before that, I have a personal practice where I do intuitive readings, tarot readings, all that kind of good stuff. So listen, if you're here, I'm happy you're here. I am happy that you found the space to hang out, to check in. We do a lot more teaching. Here, you know what? This space is not really, we're not always dishing tea on people. We don't always, how do we say? We here in this energetic space take responsibility for ourselves and we always redirect back to self. I really tend to use, now can I do personal readings and can we ask all kind of questions? Yes, but I always encourage you to call your power back to yourself. When you ask questions, ultimately get to know yourself more than you get to know other people. And so when people connect with me in this space, and a lot of them have been longtime soul family, I'm always going to reiterate, if you're asking a question to the tarot or to any collective body of energy outside of yourself about things that are outside of yourself, where your attention and intention goes, your energy follows. So use the power to empower yourself. You know what I'm saying? The power of your attention, the power of your time and energy. And then over here is very Aquarian over here. Okay, so if you resonate with that, we are in the age of Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. This is a big Aquarian year because we will also shift into having North Node in Aquarius. So compassionate detachment. And it's not to say we don't like to have experiences with people. Maybe this channeled space is coming in when I set the intention to talk about the new moon. This could be a message because, okay, it feels like a very interesting, still kind of like we haven't locked into a big shift quite. I mean, I say that, and my gosh, we've been shifting since everything started, this whole phase of dissolution, so that we can go into these amalgamation of new timelines, okay? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be magical. It's going to be a whole different experience. But I ain't going to sit here and tell you it's going to be sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. It's going to be like, I need y'all to go ahead and get up there and claim it. I need you to open your throat chakras. I need you to manifest the life that is unique to your individuality and authenticity. I need you to understand your power. Okay? But it's very interesting. It's like, it's hard to pin down when the new year, the new lunar cycle starts. I mean, if you consider that we enter into an entire new lunar cycle, which we do at the new moon, you could very well view it's almost like you're dipping your toes in. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look, we're getting ready to birth certain energies. You very well could. Absolutely. For me, I don't think the pickup and the tingle really starts. I want to say if you wanted to pick a date, right, for the lunar new year, it's going to be more towards the end of Aquarius season, I want to say. I think the 17th, I think. So there's this very interesting pocket of energy when we have the second new moon of the year, the new moon that falls after the winter solstice, right? Most of the time. But again, it's tricky because you're trying to fit things that are not in the intentional space of being forced into a Gregorian calendar into a calendar. So, excuse me. When we really hypothetically, let's say, charge forth with that beautiful lunar new year and the celebrations of the year of the fire horse, there's a few more weeks yet, right? Although we're very close to Aquarius season. Super excited for that. I'm excited for that for everyone in the collective too, because of how the Aquarius energy, if you understand it, is all about the community. It's all about returning power to people. It's all about, we're going to do what's best for all of us. We're going to stand up for all of us. It's about people finding leadership roles. It's about people standing up. It's about opening a throat chakra. It's about fixed ideas, communication, empowerment. So I love Aquarius season for all of us. Okay. But right now, it's so interesting, because it's almost like we stand outside of some sort of precipice and it's almost like, you know what I'm seeing, you guys, in this new moon and Capricorn energy. And I'm going to start taking the cards out. Maybe we'll actually print the chart on Sunday. We'll look at the chart. Maybe we'll just go straight intuitive with it. And I'll kind of give you more of a style that sometimes I use for myself. Sometimes I use in personal readings. But what I do is I just straight shuffle multiple piles of cards and let a message come out on its own. Sometimes when you get like a ton of cards on the table, people tend to get overwhelmed. So I don't always lean into that and a message that might be more collective. But listen, here we are together. Thank you so much for being here. Back to what I was saying before, though, I really encourage you in the way that you can find a connection to your soul group, your soul tribe. That may be very different than your brick and mortar community. It may be very different than the family of blood and bone, Spirit wants me to say, that you've incarnated with, okay? In fact, in this type of age, we will see a lot of those contracts coming to completion. And it's not necessarily a negative thing, because DNA, soul contracts, soul sparks, soul tribes, Spirit is saying it like this, which is very Aquarian. They are going to intermingle. Pluto and Aquarius in the age of Aquarius, soon to be in the summer with a North Node in Aquarius. So water pouring into things disperses energy. It disperses frequency. So that's why I'll always keep reiterating when I touch base with you guys, my soul tribe, my soul family. And when you click like, if you receive something in any type of energetic, soul, or inspirational, supportive way, this is just going to, in fact, also when you click subscribe, we come into alignment together. Again, there's no aim to really get monetary things. I think I value abundance and prosperity in really different ways than a lot of people anyway. Love and light, respectfully. So I'm saying, this just helps us come into alignment with each other's frequencies. And then when you like the video, when you subscribe, we're able to circulate on this platform and get in connection to other people in our soul family and our soul tribe. Because I want everyone to do that. Because we've left the age of Pisces and no one is coming to save us. We save each other when we unite with each other. And a lot of times that starts in a Akashic place, in an astral place, in a spiritual place, in a soul place. And then it has this trickle down effect. So thank you for being here. It is quite an interesting energy. We have this pocket of window, okay, on the wheel of the year. We're still kind of, we're really cocooning still. We have yet to, depends on where you are, what your climate is. There's definitely still wintering going on. We're possibly in the southeast here, maybe getting snow and ice and all kind of things. So we're still cocooning, okay. We may feel sort of the tingle kind of rising. We kind of hit an arc here where a lot of people kind of start, you feel a tingling, you know what I mean? And that is also on the precipice, on the cusp of getting ready to move in Aquarius season. So it's an interesting pocket, I would say. The new moon, the Capricorn new moon, will be on the 18th on Sunday. And then we've got this energy from then up until like all throughout Aquarius season, where we know that the Lunar New Year is going to rebirth itself. So that's very interesting to consider. I will still and always continue, you guys, to embrace. We're in the between of like winter solstice and Imbolc on the wheel of the year and pagan, earth-based traditional associations. The light in the belly. So we're still letting it unfold. We're still cocooning. We're still grounding. We're still nourishing. But this image that I'm getting now, spirit, my ancestors are showing me. And let me stop and set our intentions. We are always setting intentions when we connect with our spirit team, our ancestors, both galactic and earthbound, Davic nature, spirits of the earth, God, goddess, divine source energy. We're always connecting with those frequencies and those spirit guides that are of service to the highest and best good and harming none. Okay, right? So it is. So we're setting that clear intention. Okay. But the vision that I'm seeing, what it makes me think of is, I don't know, it kind of is giving like Mulan, like up on a hill, by maybe like a cherry blossom tree, or it kind of makes me think of, I don't know why, but Kung Fu Panda. And you know how the master, the teacher, it's that vibe of being up on a hill, grounding beside a tree. Maybe it's a willow, maybe it's a cherry blossom, maybe it's one of those mossy oaks we love to talk about, right? But it's giving grounded, it's giving vision from a higher perspective, it's giving emotional, spiritual maturity, wisdom, and discernment. And it is very compassionately detached, just like being able to tap in to this perspective, but it's, I am in this world, I am in this moment, I am in this, but I'm not of this. You know how you'd be like sat off on a hill, maybe you're practicing the fluidity of like yoga or qigong, or you're walking in nature, but it's very elevated, looking down, looking out. Okay, so it does give a lot of vision work, and I feel like this pocket of time leading us up to rebirthing. Okay, first, working up to the new moon in Capricorn, opening the new lunar cycle, then working up to Imbolc, which is a beautiful celebration. Right? And then after that, we'll be working through going up towards the rebirth of the Lunar New Year. So I illustrate this kind of an arc to show you how the unfoldment of a beginning, how it's so important to be very present, right? It's very giving, like, don't go fast. Don't rush this. Be intentional. Listen to your wisdom and discernment, right? So I do love that energy. For us, of course, Sunday, we're going to be looking, like I said, out towards the new moon in Capricorn. You could, if you're thinking about numerologically the year of 2026, if you're thinking about a Gregorian calendar, you could definitely be feeling into that as the first new moon of 2026. I mean, by all intents and purposes on a calendar, it is, right? So it's very, very, very potent. It's very a good time to set intentions And we're thinking, again, it's that energy of I'm up on a hill. I'm standing there with my staff. I'm very grounded. I'm very focused on the long-term sustainability of something that has been a vision in my spirit, right? So it's definitely energy of newness. Of course it is with a new moon, but I'm saying it's very, very aligned. It's very, very discerning. It's very intentional. We could be visioning things that look like massive restructure in our life. Okay, it's like you got that what it would like the permafrost on the top layer, and that things are definitely starting to happen. It's like the soil, you know. It's giving progress, but with patience for sure. Absolutely. So, yeah, you know what we might do, you guys? We definitely might like actually print the chart out on Sunday and look at that with each other. But I will say in today's chart, today is Friday, January 15th, is the afternoon time here in the southeast of the US for me. When I look at the chart, we have, again, we've got Mercury at the 21st degree of Cap. We have Mars at the 24th degree. The Sun is entering the last decan of Capricorn at the 25th degree. We've got Venus at the 27th degree. So we got all these planets lined up, getting ready, like I was talking about before, to pass through this. It's like a checkpoint of Pluto and Aquarius. So very, very fascinating energy to consider. But when you look at the chart, down a ways from that in Pisces territory, we still have that North Node. We still have Saturn. We still have Neptune. And then, of course, we're still engaging with that Uranus and Taurus energy. What is it? Uranus is trining Mars. If you look at the chart, it almost looks like, what would you call this figure? Isn't that a trapezoid? I don't know, but it looks like a bucket that's open. An empty bucket. Where is that coming through? Is that the air signs or the water signs reading that we did for the collective? But it looks like a point of the bucket here comes in. Okay, let me see, what is the sun doing? Okay, yeah. The sun is in a trine with Uranus. And then, of course, to say the sun is in a trine with Uranus, all this stuff in Capricorn is so close to, multiple other things are very close to also being in a trine with Uranus. So that's kind of bringing this point down. But look, we could trace the points, but what it looks like is almost like this bucket. And the base is connected between all these planets in Capricorn and then these other planets in Pisces. And then they're making these aspects to Uranus. Is it Lilith? Oh, yeah. Lilith in a trine with Saturn. Lilith in a trine with Neptune. But the interesting formation, and we can break down all the points, but when you just straight look at it intuitively, it looks like this bucket. And when your eye draws down to all this open space on the other side, we're looking directly at the South Node in Virgo. So I think that's really fascinating because it still is encouraging us to evaluate how we're spending our energy, attention, and focus in our everyday routines. Right? Mental health, spiritual health. It still is giving nourishing. It still is giving lots of like high key, very high key, intentional spiritual cleansing. Because the South Node in Virgo is going to say, because remember we have a North Node in Pisces, so that's that opposite territory. The South Node in Virgo, just as a reminder, right, is where are you holding on to tightly in the 6th house? And where are you holding on to perfection? Where are you holding on to kind of that energy of, well, this is the way that I've done it every day. This is the way that we'll always, because a lot of that is being liquidated. So that can be a great place that you feel drawn to. I mean, I think with all these connections, these trines, and these things engaging with Uranus and Taurus, we still have a lot of that. Hey, I need you to pay attention to this routine because a lot of this is going to be liquidated. Hey, I need you to kind of update this outdated modality of thinking because a lot of this stuff is going to be liquidated. There's these messages of liquidation, right? And the liquidation could be in a spiritual way of your paradigm of beliefs. Well, I mean, oh my goodness, all the Pisces energy, right? The liquidation can literally be like, I need you to really pay attention to your daily routine because a lot of these things are going to be in a state of dissolution. They already are. While we're still in all of this Capricorn energy, right? And so the way that we go about looking at it is still, you're very much cocooned, okay, while you're doing all this work in your home, this work in your body. It's this huge exploration, but the window is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And how do you approach your daily routine? What things are not healthy that you have to release that white knuckle grip on? Is it how you do your job? Is it how you treat your health routine? Is it the patterns that you have in or the lack thereof of a spiritual routine? How does that affect your mental health? Okay, but again, I just see that Capricorn energy like drawing us back to be that wise elder on the hill. You know how I always talk about Capricorn energy feels very matronly and very feminine to me? Like the grandmother Willow, I always say in Pocahontas, right? I think it still is going to continue to be. I mean, when is it not? Anytime you come over here, I'm going to tell you go tap in with nature, right? This is kind of what I'm looking at on the chart, but I do want to save diving into that chart more for when we print it out and we really walk through it together on the new moon. But yeah, I think what I want to do, excuse me, is we're going to go in the style that I do kind of in personal readings, and that'll just be messages for Friday, messages perhaps maybe that are in preparation for this vision work you're going to do. Is 2:22 on the clock. This keeps happening in all these readings, you guys. I had like a 111 reading, a 444. I mean, back to back to back. This reiterates the vision, the alignment, the soul purpose, the vision, the alignment, the soul purpose, okay? It's a really important place to make those evaluations right now. So let's see, we're going to get into the Green Witch Oracle. We're going to do the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle. We're going to do a Witch's Familiar. And we're going to do an Essential Oil card. Okay, guys? Yes. We might, I don't know, we might do a tarot card. So the way that I normally do this, you guys, all of my cards and the energy here and all of my sacred spaces, my working and sabbatical altars are kept very high tier. Very cleansed, very intentional. So I'll just basically, okay, Spirit. Okay, we're going to keep all three. All right, cool. We have wholeness with the blackberry. Okay, I'm seeing someone do a ritual where they trace like as an energetic boundary. I'm seeing someone do it either with salt. I'm also seeing it in light where you do the pentagram or a pentacle or even some sort of circle around you. So perhaps you're practicing intentional ritual or maybe you use this as a ward. I know I do sometimes on my doors and stuff, literally tracing it with spiritual water, some sort of alchemical tool. Maybe you have an essential oil blend and you trace it with your finger. I don't know. Oh, we have the Aquarius symbol on there. Look at that. We also have vitality, another pentagram, a pentacle. That's giving, you know how we keep saying in this Capricorn stellium about things coming down to be embodied in these new timelines in a very, very big way. When I think about the pentagram, the pentacle, and these sigils, it's very much all of the elements are within you, and so is the embodiment of the spirit, okay? So it's interesting. I think it's on every card, but it's really popping out to me. That's interesting. What do we have? We have Aquarius, we have Taurus, we have Aries. All right, so far we have wholeness. We have, let me scooch this back. We have wholeness, vitality, and regeneration. Ooh, isn't that not the energy we're just sitting here talking about, you guys? So we will read from the book on all of these. Okay. I'm normally not trying to mindfully fit these cards onto a camera. I mean, sometimes I am. But I want to keep the books out so that we can read each message. Look, I'm going to try to be organized as possible with this. So bear with me. Okay. Would that be rosemary? Yeah, rosemary is actually one of the Capricorn seasons. It's my favorite that I go to. Rosemary, pine, any kind of cedar, anything like this when you're making your washes, when you're doing your spiritual baths, when you're working with home and cleansing of your vessel, cleansing of yourself. Those could also be great oils to work with, okay? Interesting. Fig. Look at not the snake being here as we complete the finality of the work of the year of the wood snake, and not this card having the fixed earth. The year of the wood snake, Taurus. Okay, so again, you don't have to be a sign. You could be in connection with a sign. Any of these signs could be a synchronistic confirmation for you. Obviously, we know Pluto is strong in the collective right now. So is Aries, because Saturn and Neptune will soon... Neptune in Aquarius season will finally make that shift into Aries. Taurus season could be prominent. Obviously, we know we're about to go into Aries season, so very interesting. I think one of the planets shifts signs either in Taurus or... Oh, we were talking about Uranus and Taurus. Okay, look at the planets coming through. Uranus and Taurus. I think one of the planets, though, I was going to say, also shifts signs. Is it Uranus? It's either in Taurus season or Aries season. Wow, interesting. Look at all those planetary placements on these cards. I really love this deck too, by the way. I can't remember. I think I got this. Did someone give this to me? But it was just one of those decks. I don't even know if I would have picked it up for myself. I may have. But I love this deck. It's a really good one. It's simple, and I like that sometimes, but the energy, it hits every time. So if you're looking for a simple, easy to work with Oracle deck, it's a really, really good one. All right, let's get a daily crystal. Spirit team, ancestors, and guides, always in service of the highest and best good. We ask for messages today that are in support of health, wealth, abundance, and prosperity, self-expansion, healing, growth, wisdom. Okay. All right, what do we have? Ooh, ocean jasper. Schedule yourself in. Y'all know I have so many ocean jasper pieces. We're going to bring her out too. That's my big mama. Ocean jasper always gives me, we have a lot of water and earth in the chart. Yeah, ocean jasper. That's so good. That's so perfect right now. What does it say? Schedule yourself in. You know what? Let's do it like this. Okay. Schedule yourself in. We had lapis lazuli on the bottom. It said make a decision. Okay. Interesting. You could be at a big crossroads right now because vision work is making a decision to commit to that timeline that's going to unfold and then bringing it into your own reality through your choices. That's literally the work of the magician, okay? The magician and the fool, both the 1 and the 0 are big cards for this year too, so interesting. Okay, I love Deborah Blake's Wisdom of the Familiars. She did the Everyday Witch Tarot, I think it's called. I love the art. It always gives me like Sabrina the Teenage Witch in the 90s vibes, Halloween Town vibes. I love it. Your girl, look, I was raised in the Southern Bible Belt, okay? We were not allowed. No, we were not. We were not allowed to be watching none of that. But don't ask me why I still watched it and how I was able to watch it. But iconic 90s energy for all of the witchiness, okay? It's no surprise we are all having tarot decks and crystals, and it was destined to be, right? Thank you, Spirit. Wow, okay. How are we going to see? I start running out of space. We're going to sit this right here. And we're going to sit this right here. Look, we got 2 cards. We got air and the raven. Yes, look, the stars pop out at me again, just like the pentacles and the pentagrams did. It gives me serious star energy as well. It really does. Okay. So you see the raven. All right, what else do we... Another air card, monarch, butterfly, mariposa, ancestral spirit energy. What was the card we pulled the other day? Was it a collective reading when it came out? And I was like, this is my Queen of Wands, the Witch of the Tarot. And we were talking about the butterfly effect and all this stuff about Aquarius energy. I love to see the butterflies. I have a death moth, but one of my goals is to also have a butterfly. And there's a whole story behind butterflies. And I feel called to share it. Listen, it's like, I shared this before with some close soul family. And long story short, you know, I was a certain kind of spirit and heart. And then I went through a lot of things. And I feel like they hardened me such as it does. And then it's our job to really do the alchemy work through those things so that we don't stay hardened by them. But I always loved butterflies. I mean, it was like butterfly everything. People gave me, when I was little and I was a preteen, even a teenager, people would give me things with butterflies, jewelry. I had like a gold butterfly and it was all butterflies. And then I got made fun of by someone. And then I went through a lot of shit at an age. It was so hard on me, you guys, love and light. What was going on when I was in high school, for real. But I can look back now and I can see and I can reflect on how strong it made me now and how much wisdom it gave me. But listen, I was like, I hate butterflies. And then I was like, I'll never have a butterfly on me again. And something happened when, I don't know how to explain it. That'd be like a short story, wouldn't it? What happened when I started hating butterflies? Hold on. I need to write this down. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get better about doing this, you guys. Okay. What happened? I'm going to write that down. What happened to me when I started hating butterflies? Ooh, yep. Because I am writing, you guys. Maybe that's an inspirational, like, synchronicity for you if you feel called to write or tell your story or write poems or write prose. It's a big throat chakra communication. Say it, speak it, write it, teach it type of, we are entering into all these timelines. So I came back to this whole place in my spiritual journey where I started having all these experiences with ancestors and butterflies. And it's like this whole story of all of my tattoos are black, and now I'm hearing Pearl Jam. Yeah. What is that? Sheets of empty canvas. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, shit. That song is called Black, right? Y'all, I should know because I love them. I love them die hard. And now my bitter hands. Dun, dun, broken glass. Oh, I was at his hand. All the turn my world to black, tattooed all I see, all that I, you know the song, out there, yeah, ooh. If you've ever been to a show, shout out. If you've ever been to a show, you know that exact moment. So the whole story goes, and I'm sharing this for a reason. I know that I am on this beautiful Friday when we are getting ready to be on this precipice that's going to change everything. It is. It is. It's not just a regular new moon. It's not just a regular new timeline. I keep hearing it. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be the sun in somebody. Okay, so I came back to the butterfly to wrap up this little personal story. I came back to the butterfly. And now I have this goal of the first tattoo that I get with color, because all of my tattoos are black. And that's a whole story in and of itself. is I'm going to get a monarch butterfly and I'm going to do it up, and it is going to have color. And that's a whole meaning to me. This can be the return to color. Maybe that's a message for someone that's recovering from relationships that really damage your perspective. Okay, let's move on. Okay, but the butterfly, yes. I love this deck as well. This will be the last card that we take out for our message today. Essential Oils Oracle card. You guys know me. I make ritual oils and tools, but essential oils, when I was still in my shamanic apprenticeship, really changed everything. And that's the first thing I started tinkering with and creating and crafting. And I went through these experiences when I was studying, excuse me, and taking classes about aromatherapy. And I'm telling you, the scent recognition and the connection to my ancestors and the way that my neuron pathways in my brain started opening and everything, I don't even know how to explain it. It started with, I don't know, it was deep. It was deep soul work. And I don't know how to explain that. But if you connect to scents and oils and even scents in nature and plants like that, connecting to oils was huge for me. It was huge. Okay. But I do love this deck. It is very beautiful and very spiritual. So let's get our last card. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be the sun and sun. Okay. I saw this card like 3 times. It's giving the last airbender. It's funny. We have 2 air cards here. Wow, Pluto and Aquarius, and then later in the spring, later in April, I think it is, Uranus will go into Gemini. There's air energy here. The last airbender. Did you ever watch that in that, what was it, when Netflix redid it? Wasn't it? Or no, did Netflix just have, anyway, The Last Airbender, but like the show series, and how this whole thing would happen where the ancestor of the element would come down into the last airbender and embody this whole visual surreal experience so that the airbender could channel their powers or something, wasn't it? Shout out if you know, and you've watched it. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is what this makes me think of. This is also giving a lot of Capricorn, Stellium, Uranus, and Taurus energy. You will be grounded and supported. You will bring wisdom into your body from the most unexpected lightning bolt type moments of things being downloaded into your mind. This is what I'm getting off of this card. Blue spruce. Okay, Spirit is saying we need to start with this card, okay? You are different and special. Don't be afraid of this. Hello, Age of Aquarius, please understand. Don't be afraid of this. You are perfect just the way you are. Only in this way can you live your unique power from your heart. The spirit of the blue spruce will bring harmony to you, body and soul, so that you can create and achieve what you are here for with the wisdom of your heart and the purity of your thoughts. Do you now recognize how unique and valuable you are? Can you feel how important your light is in the world? Do you have any idea how much potential you carry within you? Live it. Live it. Okay? This is not the time to push it back down. It so is not, and we need everyone to do the opposite, right? Okay, I love also that these cards have all of this on the back. These can be super intentional to like pull at a new moon or pull at the beginning of your week or whatever your practice may be, right? These are great. Own your full presence and power. What did we spend the whole year of 9 talking about with the Hermit card? Calling your power, calling the light back into. Remember we were saying, oh, we really need to charge up those lanterns. Do you see now? Now I'm seeing the reel that everybody keeps sharing of that girl or that woman, bless her, in the middle of the protest, and like they're firing the water at her and she's, what the fuck? What was that, like a fucking fire? I don't know what she had, but she was just sending it back at them, and they knocked her down. She got back up. I know you've probably seen it because everyone keeps sharing it on social media. Ooh, if you knew the power that the light within you holds, okay? Grounded and connected to my life force, I create what is beautiful and light-filled from the depths of my heart. Effects. When distilled with all of its active ingredients, blue spruce has the highest vibration, 428 hertz, of all the plant oils, and is so comforting and uplifting on both the subtle and physical plane. I think blue spruce I used in the Hecate oil, and I use it in my evil eye oil. Apply a drop of diluted blue spruce oil on top of your head in the mornings and allow the high vibration to guide and open you to the energy from above and below. And if you don't have essential oils, you can even, child, let me tell you, because you have the abundance of everything that you need. You probably have spruce, you probably have cedar, you probably have a beautiful tree ally in a plant, and you can make it up like you would a tea, and you can use that in your spiritual bath. And you can even put that on your head and your third eye. You can spray it. Even having those plant spirits and speaking to them and asking them to work with you on your altar and your space. Put you some in a little pretty little mason jar. Make it look wintry. Very nice. Okay, very simple. Very organic and earthy vibes. Okay, you can work with that plant spirit. Or, like I said, in the absence of blue spruce, maybe you have a cedar. Maybe you have some pine. I know you do. Child, I know you probably go outside right now and find a pine cone. Boom. Apply it to the top of your head in the mornings and allow the high vibration to guide you and open you to energy from above and below. It's very much your Earth Star chakra, all the way up through your chakras, all the way up to your soul star is what it's giving. You see this image? Maybe you're sitting with a tree. Aspects: manifesting, harmonizing head and heart, self-perception, the heart's mission, grounding, balance, clarification, higher amplified vibration. Ooh, what a start. Yeah, because we have ocean jasper too, and I know that that's like ocean jasper, but whenever I connect to, I've got spheres and other pieces as well. Another one of my favorites is moss agate, but ocean jasper is so powerful. It makes me think of being in the southeast. You could even relate it to like anywhere that the forest comes up right to the ocean. What am I seeing? Like Pacific Northwest vibes too, even like California, even West Coast. But it always took me back to being a little girl and being out by lakes where you had like really mossy spots, but then you also had red dirt, you had sand, you had pine, you had all that evergreen backdrop, but the rocky edges, I'm seeing that. Maybe you have a trail to walk on. Okay, we all have new paths that we're going to be walking on. I like this energy. Okay, so Spirit is saying we're going to go to Ocean Jasper next, okay? Schedule yourself in. Oop. Weren't we talking about South Node and Virgo, getting things out of your daily routine, not white knuckle gripping the way you've always done it, the way the day has always flown by? Why did I say flown by? That might be a calling to slow down. What are you really doing in your day? What is really exhausting you? Where are you in all of this? Where are you in all of this, Spirit is saying? What's her name? What's that therapist that's on the Netflix show? I love me some, excuse me, I love that type of energy too. We love when therapy and psychology and spirituality and quantum physics and nature, it all connects. But what does she say? She has that phrase, it's like, I'm not seeing you. Where are you in all of this? Y'all know who I'm talking about? That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's find Ocean Jasper. There's always time for me time. It's okay to make yourself a priority. If you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to be available to care for others in an effective and healthy way. Schedule a little time every day to ensure that you are nurturing and nourishing yourself properly. Take a break and treat yourself in some small way. You've earned it. If your day is so full you can't schedule 5 minutes for yourself, then schedule 10. I know that's right. What's the Buddha talking about? If you can't meditate for half an hour, you need to meditate for an hour. That's what it's giving, friends. That's what it's giving for real. I'm also getting this energy of like, they hope you don't do that. Would be better if they would all not get into alignment, because then they're easier to manipulate and drain. Be better if they keep driving themselves to be so exhausted they can't schedule themselves. They can't meditate. I don't have time to go out into nature. I don't have time to sniff an oil bottle. Do you see these bills I got to pay? Okay, no. That's how you stay in the frequency fences. That's how you stay bound. That's how you stay on the no. Those are the timelines that are dying, okay? This is the energy that I'm getting from this. What do you do for yourself? Do you put yourself last on the to-do list? How can you make yourself more of a priority? Affirm to yourself, I care for myself because I am important. Today, make a commitment to schedule time for yourself. And maybe, in fact, reevaluate your schedule. And are certain things important to you? Okay, I feel like next we're going to do the animal familiars. That's where I feel called to. So again, these are Deborah Blake's Wisdom of the Familiars. Let's start with the raven, 3 of air. The raven is a large black bird. Ooh, the turkey vultures have been around again, and the hawks, like a lot this week. But the turkey vultures, if you know, I've told stories about them. They'll come in these big flocks and they'll be all lined on the side of the road. It's crazy. I'm going to have to get a picture one day if Spirit will allow it. They'll be on top of the houses and the buildings. It is wild, but that's because these timelines are dying and death equals rebirth. So we love to see it, right? But corvids, ravens, maybe you resonate with those. Yeah, I'm seeing big black turkey vultures. Okay, the raven is a large black bird that is often confused with its cousin the crow, with whom it shares numerous traits, including a surprising intelligence. In many cultures, it has been revered as a messenger from the gods and a bringer of spiritual communication and wisdom. Ravens tend to be more solitary than crows, so if you see one nearby, it may well have a message for you. So you had a message here today. And maybe being solitary is helping you reevaluate how you spend your time. Do this necessary vision work for such a big year energetically, right? If you're asking a question of this oracle and you get the Raven card, it might be telling you to pay attention to messages and signs from the gods or your ancestors or your spirit team, right? And listen to your own inner wisdom. It might also be a suggestion that you need to do some serious thinking about a situation, or a question, or a crossroads point, or these things that you're visioning and evaluating, right? Tap into the heart and the mind before you spring into action. That's exactly the energy we've been talking about. You don't have to see a raven in person to receive wisdom from the deity of the spirit. Keep an open mind and be alert to anything that feels as though it might be important. Messages can show up from unexpected sources when you least expect them, sometimes when you need them most. Has someone said something recently that really resonated with you? Oh man, the energy of this type of synchronicity is going to be so amplified this year, you guys. I'm telling you, with lightning speed, with crystal clarity if you're open to receive it. Has someone said recently really resonated with you? Do you have that nagging sense that you're missing something that's just out of reach? Maybe the raven is trying to tell you something. Spirit is wanting you to get grounded and get clear and be open to receive these messages of guidance if that's what you're looking for, right? All right, number 6 of air, the butterfly. The monarch butterfly is a vital pollinator who is dependent on the milkweed plant, which is where it lays its eggs and is the only food for the monarch larva. The majestic butterflies migrate every year, traveling tremendous distances to mate and lay their eggs. Didn't we open this by talking about spirit tribes and soul families and find your spirit and soul family, and how Aquarius energy comes to restructure everything and liquidate and move around energy and frequencies? That's what we were just talking about. These majestic butterflies migrate every year, traveling tremendous distances to mate and lay their eggs, defying the odds in their drive to survive. They are a symbol of hope and faith, and the very sight of them can lift our hearts. This card may be telling you to hold on no matter what you're going through. It may seem as though the odds are stacked against you, but you need to have faith that you will come out okay in the end. Sometimes all we have to do is hold on to hope and faith, but those can be powerful enough to carry us through long distances and difficult challenges on gossamer wings. I know that's for somebody. The monarch seems fragile and delicate, but it persists in its journey despite everything life throws its way. I'm seeing the peace walk, traveling a long distance, defying all of these odds, having trust and faith and hope. You can tap into the power of hope to keep yourself going when things get dark. All right, sorry guys, I had to pause you for a second. So sorry. Someone at the door. And then my dogs will be going crazy. All right, let's finish. Hold on, I lost my whole... Okay, sorry guys. Oh, here we go. Sorry, back to the monarch butterfly, okay? Let's start back at the beginning of this paragraph. The monarch seems fragile and delicate, but it persists in its journey despite everything life throws its way. You can tap into the power of hope to keep yourself going when things look dark. Reach for the light and look for things that will feed your spirit. Are you focusing on the positive or dwelling only on the negative? It is easy to lose faith in the world and yourself, but it is worth the effort to stay as positive as possible. I want to stop here because I always reiterate this message, okay? I would never encourage us to do like I'm going to get us some background music because people might be moving around the house. I don't want it to be distracting. But we choose our perspective. It doesn't mean we're being toxically positive or spiritually bypassing and refusing to see what's going on in reality. That's not what I'm saying. But you still frame your perspective. And it's also interesting because it keeps talking about the light. And again, I return to making that point. Okay, I guess it's not going to load in the background. I return to making that point that we spent all of that year of the 9 talking about the Virgo card, the Hermit card, which is the Virgo card, okay? Oh, here it goes. Let's see if, hopefully it doesn't come on and be really loud, you guys. I'm putting some background music on. If it cooperates with us. It is kind of loud, isn't it? There we go. We spent all of this time talking about letting things in, working in the water trines, calling. Remember when we were working with Hecate, we were talking about her holding a lantern or holding a torch at crossroads. We had these references coming up about your lantern, all these lanterns, even the jack-o'-lantern, and pulling this energy back, calling this light back so that it could be brighter and brighter. So it is so fascinating to me that on this Air Monarch card, what was it, number 6? It's literally talking about tapping into the power of tapping into the power of hope, reaching for the light. Yeah. Because that still is super important for us to be doing. And it's like, okay, I understand now of all that is going to be unfolding. These timelines are going to fight not to die. The energies, the frequencies, the vamping, everything that has always worked when we've always done this to them is dying, is losing, is falling. Now it's going to take time. It's not going to all immediately die and then na 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 na, and then it's just, that's not how it works. Not in the density of Earth School. In the age of Aquarius, especially with Pluto and Aquarius, we will see that frequency ascending, but it's going to be slowly progressing. But everyone who chooses these alternative perspectives is a part of anchoring that in, right? Just like you have a choice to tune in your attention to look at monks walking for peace, or you can continue to spiral into everything that's very negative. You know what I'm saying? Because rest and believe and know that with these planets switching into this energy of Aries and with Pluto and Aquarius, exposure is at an all-time high. Okay, there's going to be a lot of shadow frequencies to technology, shadow frequencies to energetic manipulation, shadow frequencies of wanting to stoke wars, wanting to stoke fights, wanting to be impulsive, wanting to lose tempers. Those are things that we're not saying we're not aware of that. But your energy feeds what it goes towards. Do you understand? And you're going to need it. You're going to need the battery to be charged. You're going to need the light to be bright, because there will be things that come directly to your doorstep. It's not going to just, well, ideally, if we do the frequency and we stand up correctly and we stamp our staffs down and we do a level of grid work, ideally, we're going to decrease that frequency. But I'm just saying, we're still going to need it. You understand what I'm saying? If I could look at you in the face, I'd be winking at you right now. But I try to choose my focus and intention and what I speak out loud and talk about here very intentionally. So I'm not going to go on down that path. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Green Witch Oracle card. Okay, the pentagram. Spirit is bringing me right back to that image with Blackberry. We have 33. What did we have? 222. Now we have 33. Wow, we have 32 and 33. We have 17 here, which makes me think of February 17th, and we were talking about the Lunar New Year here. Do you see the 17? But I'm going right back to that visual again of someone like, if you're doing a ritual, you would know, you cast a circle around yourself, and that's applicable in so many different practices and so many different whatever you do, right? Is this a cone of light? Is this a sphere of light? Is this a salt circle? This kind of speaks of protective work. Maybe you are doing rituals. I'm hearing do what you can where you can. I'm hearing protection too. I'm seeing all kind of different images when I think about the word protection in the current atmosphere that we're dealing with. So you can take that as you will, love and light. But again, I'm very intentional about what I hold space and talk about with the vibrational spelling frequency of my words here. Okay. All right. Black mulberry and wholeness. Okay. So let's read number 33 together. Are we in air signs with this portion? Because we have two cards. No, we're in water, okay? Water fruits. Here we are with that Piscean energy. Neptune, Saturn, Pisces, North Node Pisces. So we also not only had Aquarius, we had Taurus, we had Aries. Now we have the Neptunian, the Piscean frequencies as well, right? What else do we have? Jupiter and Cancer. If any of those zing for you, if they resonate for you, put a pin note and go and study. There may be messages in those planetary placements for you. Y'all, listen, you can't make it up. I'm not going to move the whole camera stand to show you, but the piano music that I chose, there's literally pine cones sitting all on the table. You can't make that up. What are the odds? The pineal gland, pine cones and the pineal gland. Ooh, I have an oil blend too. We may have to remake that. I did this whole series of candles. It was at last year or the year before, and it was all about the pine cone, the pineal gland. Ooh, yeah, we might have to revisit that. Y'all, hold on. I'm going to add it to my note. Hold on. What happened to me when I started hating butterflies? Pine cones and pineal gland. Okay, what? Spirit is saying make a note about the last airbender. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, look, my notepad had all these 111, 444, 222, 333. Wow, it's been quite something else on a frequency level. Okay. Let's read Black Mulberry. Everything should be coming together at present in projects and plans, the completion of something. Hello, a year of completion and new beginnings. A year of 10 is just as much about completion as it is about the 1 plus 0 equals 1. So you see how that's all wrapped up in the wheel? So interesting. The completion of something is indicated with black mulberries, and the energy of this fruit asks you to put your knowledge and skills to the test. Balance and stability, that was coming through when we were talking about the wheel. The center point of the wheel, when it spins really fast in a year like this, has to be very strong and sturdy, has to be well rooted. And now we're talking about the peace walks. You know how I'm always talking about my monks, and I love those practices where they teach you that you have to be so thoroughly grounded. You have to know your grounding stances when it comes to being a warrior, because your feet can get swept up so quickly. I'm hearing that from Spirit. Balance and stability are present, and from this foundation, the possibilities are expanding. Setbacks, delays, and miscommunications can be challenges to watch out for. Magical correspondences, protection, strength, vision, clarity, and wisdom. Deities, Diana, Brahma, Minerva, and Athena. Celestial energy of Mercury, astrological energy of Aquarius. Yes. It says, I feel called to read this. It says, wholeness spell. Try this harvest spell to obtain clarity in a situation and see the entire picture. Because we were talking about that in the very beginning. Up on the hill, set back beside the tree. Set a bowl of black mulberries that were picked right on sunset upon your altar, or a mantle, and light a white candle on either side. Prop a mirror behind this arrangement and gaze into it while meditating on a situation, a crossroads, an event in your life, right? You will be able to obtain illuminations that will assist you. Take note on your thoughts and messages. And you could also, okay, look, if you don't have black mulberries, it's seasonal, right? Depends on where you are, but you could easily substitute something that's associated with an air element, or that's associated with a tree or a plant spirit. If you wanted to practice this as a ritual, you could easily use pine cones, for example. You could easily use a tree spirit. All of those will promote grounding, but at the same time, clarity and vision. You could use rosemary, right? That's probably something that a lot of people have in their kitchen. Now, if you don't have those things at hand and you want to create a bowl of something, you really could just grab an essential oil or a gemstone that's safe in water. You could put that in the water too and achieve the same goal, right, with the candles and the mirror. If you don't have a mirror you can prop up, you can do this with any mirror. But please, okay, bless and cleanse your mirror. I'm going to need you to do that with any mirror you get ready to work with, okay? Just a side note. All right, let's go back one and read about the fig. Remember, we were talking about wrapping up the work of the year of the wood snake. We have Taurus, fixed earth, and a snake here. Do you see that? I'm hearing the fruits of your labor will bring you vitality, okay? These remind me of bay leaves. Maybe that's significant. Maybe someone uses those. See the leaves? Maybe you use those in ritual. You know how you'll write on them or burn them or put them in a jar, or however you work your intentional, rituals and workings. Okay, that might be rosemary on that card. Okay, anyway, let's read it together. Vitality. Figs will show you that you can and should look at what you have and what is going on with new eyes. Come on. You see the synchronicity between all these cards? I'm just wondering if you guys can see all the cards. Let's see. Every single day gives us all the chance of a fresh new beginning, but you will need to jump up and work for it. New life experiences are on offer, and clarity will shine upon opportunities as well. Someone may be about to bring trouble to your sphere. Make sure you protect yourself. Were we not talking about protection? Hello? You can't make it up. Okay, correspondence say divination, fertility, love, safe travels and longevity, deities, Isis, Dionysus, Juno, the Apsaras, Valkis, Celestial Association Jupiter. Hello, we're in a Jupiterian year. Astrological sign of Taurus. Okay, I don't really feel called to read that spell. All right. And if you don't prefer that term, honestly, a lot of the workings in this are much more like a ritual. And that I also like that about this book as well. All right. So now, of course, we have a plant spirit from the group of fire. What do they call it in here? Fire herbs. Okay. What to do next is something that needs focus under the influence of, oh, it's tarragon. Even better. It's tarragon, not rosemary. Okay. What to do next is something that needs focus under the influence of tarragon. Sorry, there's some buffering in the background. It will often indicate what work needs to be done to align the physical with the spiritual. Do you see how this is perfect to follow these cards? This is giving, I know it says Aries on it, but it is giving spring equinox season, okay, after the Capricorn and Aquarius work have been done, right? And the new lunar year has already been rebirthed. This is what this card is giving. A gift could be coming your way soon, and a relationship could step up to a new level. Take what resonates, of course, leave the rest. This is just a general collective message. This can be a renewal of relationship with someone you've already been with long term, or even with yourself, or even collaborative relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be. Look at what can be redone if given extra care to grow again, or if bringing it back to life in your life will serve you in a positive way. Tarragon also highlights plagiarism or taking inspiration without credit. Ooh, that's that Pluto and Aquarius is going to continue exposing at an all-time high. I'm telling you. I know it will. And it's going to work out on our favor because the universe is always working the everything out for us in the highest and best good. That's what we affirm over here. All right, correspondences. Uses in sensuality, confidence, courage, protection, and sexuality. Deities, Eris, Mars, and Artemis. Ooh, I love this energy. It makes me think of the fact that now Black Moon Lilith is going to do her 9-month journey with Sagittarius. That might resonate for someone. Maybe you have Sagittarius or big prominent fire sign placements. Could be also, we're talking about taking action, right? What to do, taking action. You want something, you're going to have to work for it. That's very much, maybe you're looking into your Mars placement. Maybe you have a fire sign Mars. We do need to talk about Black Moon Lilith and Sagittarius is a very, very powerful journey. That Antares energy coming through. Okay, the celestial, yeah, of course. The celestial association is Mars. The astrological influence here is Aries. Okay, I do want to read this one. Okay, it's called Regeneration Spell. And again, I don't really do, I mean, we can have a whole side conversation about spells, but these are much more to me like rituals, right? To set intentions. Regenerate something you want to see grow again with this essence. Put water in a clear bowl and place 3 fresh tarragon sprigs in the water. 1 for the past, 1 for now, and 1 for future. Place the bowl in sunlight for an hour and then strain it into a spray bottle. Spritz on items or even people or even yourself or your space, right? For the energy of things that need regeneration and into areas that lift the energy more into alignment and reconstruction. Ooh. The cards really came through with the message today, and I think that it's so great with the astrology. It's so perfect for preparedness for this new moon that we're going to come into. Okay, you know what? I mean, if you came to the end with me, you are a real one, and I appreciate you. I think we are. I feel drawn to the Pulp Tarot, though. Let's get a tarot card from the Pulp Tarot, you guys. All right, Spirit. 1 tarot card for us, please. Whoa. The Pulp Tarot said you rang. I was ready. Seven of Cups on the bottom, dreaming new dreams, letting old things that were full of illusion and distraction die. Yes. I mean, I said one, Spirit. We're going to look at both, though. Okay, the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles are so perfect. It's very much like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay, but we do need times to reflect on everything that we've come past, everything that we've achieved. Is giving spiritual celebration. A lot of times and rightfully so, okay, rightfully so. A lot of times we get super excited about the new timelines. We may also be grieving and still have anxiety about things that have already, they've happened, they're done, or they've left. That timeline is over, okay? But we don't want to dwell in the unfulfilling things. You know what I'm saying? Because you block yourself when you stay in that. If you need to grieve, grieve. You need to feel your feelings, do that, okay? But the Nine of Cups, we call that the wishing card too. What if you choose the perspective that the universe is going to give you a gift? Didn't that come through somewhere else? Something about a gift maybe coming your way? Was that Tarragon? 17? 17 is a star card too. Ooh, gift energy. Yes, a gift could be coming your way soon. And then we have the universe gift, the wish card. Okay, manifesting a dream. The Nine of Cups is about alignment too. But I always teach, and we have a 7 and a 9 here. The 7s and the 9 are pause cards. Pause and give gratitude. Pause to reflect. Pause to celebrate. Have a blissful little moment where you pat yourself on the damn back and be like, look how far we've come. We need that. Okay? There's a huge encouragement, though, of believing in something bigger and higher for yourself and celebrating that you believe that and that you have faith in that. Okay? So the Nine of Cups is maybe how those dreams and those wishes in the universe will connect you to other people. Okay. The Nine of Cups is also, it is just celebration. It is just full gratitude about, wow, look what the universe is doing in my favor. Okay. So I'd love to see that in addition to the other cards that we've had. We also had the Seven of Pentacles come out. I'm always going to tell you that's the juice. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay. In the midst of all this energy, again, don't miss how multiple things have reiterated pausing and reflection, connecting with your spiritual team and celebrating yourself too. I saw 111 on the timer here. But this is also what is worth continuing to pour your energy to, and to be honest with you, what is not. Okay? There can be things that we continue to pour into that drain our energy when other things need to keep going. There's only so much of us to go around. That takes us back to how we started talking about the South Node in Virgo and evaluating what you do with your energy every day. All right, my friends. So that is the Friday message that I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. We'll tap in most likely on Sunday and look at the new moon chart. But I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.